I've had 275 DMs from men over the last week. Now, don't get it twisted. It's not like the, hey, you want a sugar daddy? No, it's men reaching out because they're struggling with relationship problems, marriage problems, should I stay or should I go? And the number one thing I think or experience with men, especially when I get them on a call, is this black and white thinking, this option A or option B. It's either X or it's Y. And this type of thinking is why you feel stuck, is why you're miserable, is why you're suffering. Either I stay and I'm miserable and I suffer with this person I've been married to for 20 plus years, or I leave and I never get to see my kids, or it costs me half my house or half my earnings or half everything I've been working towards and I only get to see my kids half the time or whatever. It's either A or it's B. And I want to call bullshit on that. When we are operating a survival mode for so long, our ability to creatively problem solve is out the door, which is why it's amazing when you get on a call with me, because we start poking holes in this way of thinking. And so, for example, I had a call with a gentleman today who is struggling at work because his boss changed and she's not been very nice. And she is destroying his love and his passion and his joy for his career. But he also has kids in college and some of them in grad school, and he's the financial provider for them. So he said, well, I guess I'm stuck. He's been looking for other jobs. They just haven't been panning out. And so, again, I either stay at this job and I'm able to provide for my children and their schooling so that they can be set up for success in life, and I'm miserable, or I leave my job and I risk all of this financial stability I've created for my kids. Well, no wonder you've been feeling a little down in the dumps, because there's no winning. And so I said, just for shits and gigs, let's come up with being detached from the 5-year plan or what this is going to look like 5 years. Just give me 5 possibilities of ways that would be winning for you in this set of circumstances. Then he went through possibility number 1, which was him starting his own business. And the man fucking lit up. His whole energy changed. Why? Because I asked him a better question than he's asking himself of what could be possible. Then we spent the next 20 minutes of the call actually building out all of the reasons why that's what he should do. Not because I said it. No. I was just mirroring back to him that he lit up by that, and that's the direction to head in. And we came up with all the blocks and all of the thoughts and all of the fears and all the worries holding him back from that thing. And guess what? We went through each single one and poked holes in that belief, saying why it was bullshit and fear-based and not actually based in reality, just his own cycling of negativity in his head. And now his homework is to go research the next right step, not the next 50 steps that he has to have mapped out, but the next right step to start to pursue this business idea he's had probably for a decade, but never gave himself permission to do. Well, guess what? When life gets uncomfortable, it's probably pushing you towards something that you've already known to do for a long time. But we let fear drive those decisions. And if nothing changes, nothing changes. So if you continue to let fear drive your decision-making in life, you will continue to have the same results you've always had. You will continue to experience more of the same. We are creatures of habit. Our thoughts are created from our stimuli in our outside environment, and being creatures of habit, we don't have a whole lot of new stimuli. We have routines. You wake up on the same side of the bed, maybe with the same person. You have the same coffee. You have the same trip to work. You have the same million different stimuli coming into you day after day after day. Therefore, your thoughts are the same day after day after day. And when we've had thoughts repeatedly, they become beliefs. And then when we have beliefs, we don't actually challenge them that they're beliefs. We just say it is what it is, or that's just the way things are. And so we are just resolved to think that this is how life should be. But if you are miserable inside, if you're unhappy, if you're anxious all the time, an overthinker, if you're trying to control the outside world, or you're so fragile and dependent on what everybody else and everything else falling perfectly into line for you to feel safe, that bridge is going to crumble at some point. And it usually looks like a midlife crisis. It usually looks like you doing something drastic, because you're actually getting new stimuli when you do something drastic like that. Except there's a lot of not so pleasant consequences, and it probably hurts some other people along the way. That what if we didn't have to go through that? I'm just had enough and I can't stand it and I just need to explode my whole life to be able to get to an outcome that actually has you starting to feel better. Okay, so now that we've gotten all that out of the way, where do we begin? Well, we start to realize that our thoughts, they're not true. They're just thoughts. They're not facts. Even if you say a thought is a fact in your head, still a thought. Still not true. You get to make it up. Now, that might be a little extreme for people to think that everything that you know about yourself in the world is all made up and somebody else told you that, therefore you believe it. But again, what's a belief? Repeated thoughts. Thoughts you've had more than once. You were born with 2 fears. The fear of loud noises and the fear of falling. Every other fear was conditioned in you by your environment and your experiences. So if your brain made it up as a fear, you could probably make up something else that might serve you a little bit better. And the way that we learn what direction to head in life and what choices are good for us or not good for us is by listening to this communication thing that we have called a body. Your body, by way of your feelings, your emotions, is communicating to you. It is like the Duolingo of what direction you should head in life. Okay? So if something feels not so good, then it's probably because we're thinking a lie or we're basing it off of fear. Where if it feels good or it feels calm or it feels peace, that's probably some truth that we need to lean into. Not based off of what society tells you, what your parents told you, what your partner tells you, but what your body tells you. Your body is innately more intelligent than your brain. It can pick up on things and push you in directions you want to go long before your brain has the ability to process what is going on here. So it's a really good barometer to know which direction do I want to go in life. That's the work that we do inside of my men's program called Healthy Mentality. It's the work that I do with clients one-on-one, especially with relationships, because your relationships are your greatest mirror for the work that you still need to do and the healing you still need to do. Even if your partner is the main culprit for your suffering, who is the person who is making choices to choose that partner and stay with that partner? You are. So if you want to feel empowered, if you want to get your shit back in your life where you are starting to take ownership over the next steps and your choices, hit me up in the DMs. And if you specifically want to learn about men's coaching and the men's coaching program I have called Healthy Mentality, you can DM me the word heal and we will talk about that. And hey, my name's Tara and I'm on a mission to create a self-aware army. Hope this was helpful for you.